Okay. So yeah, the first hander he raises, ISO raises, and I 3-bet. They fold. I 3-bet for value, and then he jams. And because it's a value 3-bet, and on the charts as well, I figured that means that we have to call a 4-bet. But I was unsure about, so I called, but I was unsure about this spot because I can't think of really any time that we're good here. I felt like most of the time we are either crushed or like flipping, and I gave him like, I have a screenshot of a range that I gave him on Power Equilab, which is basically that, sometimes a little bit wider, and based on the odds that we get, that range is a close call. If we make it a little bit tighter, this should be a fold. So I wasn't really sure whether this was correct.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way you analyze hand. Against 9s plus and ace king, it's a close call, you said?
Yep, yeah. That. And if you take ace queen off, then if you take that off and this off, then it's a fold.
Yeah, well, I guess I would fold then. Like, just because again, the rule is always if you're in doubt and the spot is close, then we should rather make the fold. And I assume, because I mean, he's not ISO racing light from the SB in the first place, right? So yeah. I think yeah, I would fold.
Yeah, that was actually the other thing I was kind of wondering. When he ISO raises from the small blind, it's not really like a wide range normally, is it? Because he's limping a lot of what he would normally. Yeah, he might just be limping like 10-8 suited, which.
Yes, I also like flat in this spot. Can you show me your size again?
Yeah.
3-betting size. Well, I guess this is fine to 3-bet fold. If he flats, we perform well against this range. Then we always dominate him basically. And if he jams, I think we just have to fold. I think the hand is fine, except for the call all in. Although, yeah, I mean, it is a close spot for sure. But after your analysis, if you say that ace queen has to be in there to be a call, then for sure I would fold in hindsight. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he obviously had aces or whatever, but yeah. So here I think flatting is just better because it plays good multi-way. Sure. So I call, and then I think we have another standard call.
Yes.
And then he triple barrels, and again I'm stuck. When
I mean, I don't. Yeah, tell me what you think first.
Oh yeah, I actually called, but I think it was a mistake.
Wait, don't show me the result.
Okay,
don't
sure.
Show me the result.
Yeah, I'm not going to show you what he has.
Just tell me your thought process. Yeah.
Sure. At the time, I was thinking that it's probably like some kind of bluff or some random play. I don't think our kicker matters because I don't think he's like got ace king or ace queen, because I don't think you play it that way. But his value.
Why don't you think he's not? Why don't you think he's playing ace king that way?
I feel like because he's got showdown value, to triple barrel seems really just. I don't know. It's not how I would play it, I guess, but maybe that's not the right way.
What do you mean? Where exactly do you think he wouldn't play ace king that way?
Well, because he's got showdown value and he's trying to fold out multi-way.
But he has a top pair now.
I meant like on the flop and turn.
Yes. I think he wouldn't play ace king that way, but I just wanted to make sure. First of all, I need to be balanced with my questions, because sometimes I ask this question when I agree, and I just want you guys to be very clear on what your reason is. Yes, he would not bet ace king on the flop and the turn into so many players. I agree with that. So okay, but what does that tell you? What is the point you want to say? So
Yeah, so
you think that basically, yeah.
So the kicker doesn't matter, but he still has like sets that he would play that way. 9/8 suited. I've put maybe he plays tens to kings that way. I feel like he.
Why would he ever play bet tens, queens, kings, jacks on the river?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think he
Into three
would.
players, right? So he never has 10 king, never ever.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is he's polarized, right? You say he either has a set, a two pair, maybe some. He cannot even have the ace X, the ace high busted flush. He cannot even have that. So, and now what is the important point? Now you know his value range is either sets or two pairs.
Yeah.
So what is the next step now?
To fold.
No, not yet.
To determine what bluffs he has, which.
Yes, exactly. So now we counted the value combos, sets and two pairs. I mean, not a lot. It's how many sets are there on the flop?
Well, there's 4s, 8s, 3s.
So how many combinations is that?
Is it 12? Hang on, is my multiplying correct?
12? Open your Equilab. Open your Equilab.
Yeah.
See it so anyway. Because this spot is important. That's cool if you go to the complete thought process for us. So give your opponent pocket 8s. And now put an 8 high board. No, just 8s. Close. So how many pocket 8s combos are there pre-flop?
Oh, should I put the flop? Or
no, first tell me how many pocket 8 combos could your opponent have if he open raises?
4. Is it? It's 4 or 6. This is where I get. It's 4 or 6. I forget.
Yes, it's 4 or 6. Try to count them. Put them in the document and count all the combos just one time. Here in your Word document. Go to your Word document and list all the. Just make another thing here and list all the possible.
Sure.
All the possible combinations.
I'll just put it on a new line.
It's 4 or 6. That's true. Okay, so start with the first
start with
one.
Spades. 8 of spades, 8 of hearts, and then we also have 8 spades, 8 of diamonds, 8 spades, 8 of clubs. Then we also have 8. So we're going to hearts now. This is 3 combos. 8 of hearts, 8 of diamonds, because we've done spades, and 8 of hearts, 8 of clubs. This is 2. So it's 5 in total. So it should be 6. 8 of diamonds, 8 of clubs.
Yes, it's 6. So every pocket pair is 6. Now, if there's an 8 on the flop, how many combos of pocket 8s are left?
Sorry, repeat your question.
Just put the 8 of spades into the board. How many? Just in your head, put the 8 of spades in.
Sorry.
How many are left?
5. Sorry.
If the 8 of spades is on the board.
Yeah.
How many
so there's
are left?
There's this one, so 1, 4.
4?
No, Jesus. So it's -3, minus these 3 combos.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3. Sorry.
Yes, I know that. Really, by the way, I'm really bad at this stuff as well, and it's especially. I know that it's always like super. Even tougher if somebody's watching and you're like, fuck man, he wants to know it fast or anything, so don't worry. Yes, so just remember this. There's the pocket pair combos is always 6, and if you count the sets, it's always 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So, and how many ace-king offsuit combos are there?
12.
12. How many ace-king suited combos are there?
4.
Yes. So these things we have to know. And
I
then
mean, three because we're blocking, but yeah.
yeah. Here, I mean, there's no ace king. We said that he cannot have ace king. So
Yeah.
how many possible sets would he play that way if you count the combinations?
So there's 3, 6, 9.
9 combinations, and then how many 8, 9 suited combinations?
8, 9, another 3. So yeah, so another
3.
8. Oh, sorry, 2 because the 8's there.
2 exactly. So now we have 11 value combos, right? Is there anything else he could have? Maybe
pocket
ace,
9s.
You would check pocket 9s we counted already. We said we said 3, 12. Yeah, 12 set combos, right? Because pocket 9s he would bet on the flop as well. So 12, 13, 15 value combos. And I'm not sure if he has any ace X, so we discount that. So we just basically stick with the 12 value combos. And now, how many bluffs do we need to find to make a call profitable?
So hang on, the bets, or about a quarter of that, maybe.
So what possible bluffs might he have? Just put yourself in your just view it from your perspective. Is there anything you would bluff 3 times into 3 players? I mean, just if you had to select a combination, what would be a good hand?
I'm thinking maybe like ace deuce suited or something like that.
Well, ace is not a bluff. Ace is not a bluff.
Yeah, so it's not a bluff anymore. Jack 10 maybe.
Yeah, but is that possible? No, we have the jack of spades.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't bet Jack 10 of hearts or so on the flop. So maybe 6-5 suited and some flush draws. But it's like if you see that you also block this, there's really not a lot of combinations left that he can have, right?
Yeah.
Really like super hard to find bluffs. And for example, yes, he might have 6-5 suited, but we don't even know if he even open raises this hand from this position. And also, even if he might open raise it, it's pretty unlikely that he bets into 4 players on the flop and into 3 players on the turn and the river, right? So that this is just a spot where I would just overfold. And also, a very, very important question is always, where does he open from? Because he opened so early, so he shouldn't even have 6-5 suited, and he cannot have a lot of flush draws. Maybe king 10 suited, king queen suited, jack 10 suited, but we block that, so that's about it. King queen suited, that's 2 combos. King 10 suited, queen 10 suited, 3 combos. Yeah, it's basically just three bluff combos, or 4 maybe that we find. So it's an easy fold.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
sense.
sense.
And also, have you ever heard of my 2 good rules of thumb for bluff catch spots on the river?
I don't think so.
Okay, so remember those. First of all, the more heart or balls it takes to make a bluff, the less likely it is that opponents do the bluff.
Okay, yeah.
And in this spot, remember how much heart it takes to bet into 4 people and 2 times into 3 people, right? Nobody does that. So it's pretty clear that he's basically never bluffing, I think. So I think we should.
Yeah.
We should fold. The more heart it takes, and the guy shows up with queen jack off. So it's so tilting, man. Like, but I still think that we should fold. I mean, with the ace jack off, without a spade, I would probably call, just because there's a couple of more bluffs he can have. But like that, I would fold. But it's just like all this talking is always for nothing because people just show up with stupid hands. So what are we doing theory, because of what are we doing theory stuff.
Okay.
Like he just randomly bets his queen jack offsuit into 4 people on the flop. It's so dumb, man. It's just so stupid.
This is mainly just about ISO raising from the big blind. Is there... Well, my main question is, can we like ISO raise like weak offsuit aces?
No, never. We never ISO raise weak offsuit aces. Never,
Okay.
ever.
Okay.
We
Is
just
there...
raise for value. King, queen jack suited, stuff like that. This spot is particularly good because we have position on the small blind. So if there was another limper on the button, I would ISO raise way tighter because we have position less often. But yeah, mostly I just check in the big blind.
Okay. You said like queen jack suited. Is that like the loosest that we would ISO raise?
Yeah, I think queen 10 suited. In this spot, probably also queen 10 suited. But it's close. Yeah, queen jack suited, I guess. And then king queen off, king jack suited, ace 10 suited, ace jack off, and probably pocket sevens plus.
Okay.
Like really tight, just take the free play.
Okay. Yeah, that's mainly that question for this. I just want to make sure that I played the rest correctly. I think it plays itself. There's value bet.
Yes.
And then I check as the queen, danger card, and he bets and I fold.
Yeah. Yes, I like this play. Okay, let's see one more card of you.
Which one's this one? Oh, this one's really quick. He jams. The effective is less than 30. In the rules it says we should we should go broke with 2 pair or more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Like, what the fuck? Even if he sometimes has a low flush, I don't think jams like the ace high flush or something. Maybe sometimes pocket threes or low flush to protect. But it will most often be king queen with a king of hearts, ace queen with an ace of hearts, a flush draw or something like that. So I definitely call here.
Okay.
Although that's pretty
even with
spot,
a guy
basically.
left behind to act as well, or
yeah,
it doesn't matter. Okay.
It doesn't matter too much.
Okay. I folded. I got scared.
And after these guys always show their stupid hands, I definitely not fold. Yeah, it was so obvious that it's a set or some top pair with a flush draw or something.
Okay.
It's not a terrible fold, I think, but I just see people making so much. It's so retarded. It's so dumb. Like, in theory, of course, this is a fold. Like, why the fuck would we call? But since people show all these stupid hands, I guess I would call.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just such a dumb spot. Like, don't bring these exotic spots. They're just waste of time, because it's like, how often do people do this? I mean, it's just like, yeah, okay. There's nothing really to say about this except for, yeah, maybe call because people do stupid stuff, and some others would say like, oh, yeah, but maybe fold. Like,
yeah,
it's like nothing that you should really think about, I guess.
Okay.
All right, I switch. No, we switch to.
Do I have to do that?
No, I think I can do this. Wait. What's your name again, Kunstock?
Thiago.
Thiago. Okay, wait. I have to put that into the. Wait. Kunstock here, and let's. Thiago.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
So this is 6 max hyper 330, and we are on the bubble. We are 141 and 149.
Why do you? But why do you bring 6 max hyper? Do we still play them?
Oh, it's an MTT.
Ah, it's an MTT.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bubble just for the bubble situation.
All right.
And we are pretty short with 2.6 bigs. And I'm under the gun. And the question is if it's a profitable shove or not. I think so. I play this like 4 or 5 times a day, more or less. There are some hypers, and if you are like 10 off to the money in one hand, maximum 2, we are ITM always.
Yep. Yes.
So the question, because if I shove and everybody folds, big blind is getting 3.5 to 1, and ace king versus any 2 has just, I mean, has 65%. And if I fold, I'm, let's say, 99% in the money.
Yeah,
so
good analysis.
Fold.
How much time bank do you have?
I used I had 15 seconds.
Okay. Because sometimes, let's say there's 143 and 141 paid, then you might raise to 2.5 big blinds, take all your time bank, and then if the guy rejams or something, you can take another 10 seconds or so, and then it might be that you can still make it. But yeah, I agree. Like I think also the situation, if you fold, you are in the money way more often, 5%, and also. Let's say you double up, well, then you have 6 big blinds. It's not like you can do anything cool with this stack, right? So yeah, I think this is really what we call a folding war again. You're just in a folding war, and especially in a hyper turbo, people will bust super, super often. So I think you made a good fold, yeah.
Then the second hand is also a bubble situation, but a little bit different. It's also hyper. We are 190 and 179 paid, and it's a bit different. Under the gun folds, and even if I have 9 bigs, I cover 3 players.
Yep.
So the same question is a profitable shove?
Yeah, I think if you cover everybody except for this one, then I would jam, and even if you these other guys call and cripple you, then you can still stall one more hand and have a decent chance to make it ITM. Because here it's not like you're 65% busting. Here it's more like the jam will work in, I don't know, 50% of the cases, and if you get called, you will also win sometimes. So the probability that you survive is way higher here.
Okay.
That's why here I would jam, yeah.
Yeah, I jammed, and actually he answers me. But I also have a second question that I think it's a no. In this particular spot, it's like allowed to open 2x to stay alive if the big stack shoves, or no? This makes no sense.
I thought about this as well, but I think this will just. I'm not really sure. It might be a good situation, yeah. It might actually be good, like to 2.5x or something, and call off the short stacks and fold if the big stack rejams. Yeah, it might actually be a good situation, especially since you can take additional time if one of the blinds rejam. I think it's definitely better to raise to, let's say, 5 or 6 big blinds instead of pushing, because then you can take additional time, right? You can tank now, raise to 6 big blinds. If somebody moves all in, you can take 10 more seconds. It's what I call double stalling. So every time you do jam, decide to jam, always leave something behind so that you can double stall.
Okay. Thank you. So I know. Yeah. This is final table, also 6 max. It's a turbo, and under the gun, I mean hijack. It's a chip leader opens to X. I call, as in our chart.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
And so before I have a question with ace queen, what should I do here? Because in our charts with under 30 bigs, should be a rejam. Of course, we are in the final table, and I'm actually second in stack.
Yeah, on the charts do not. There's big exceptions from the charts on final tables in general. In general, you want to flat more of the hands you rejam in position on final tables. Ace Queen, I would flat down to 20 big blinds, I think, yeah. Okay. Just because so you're pretty, yeah.
You would go broke just Ace, Kings, Blues, and Jacks, Blues?
No, I think like even pocket with 30 bigs, you mean?
Yes, with my stack.
On the final table, yeah, Jacks plus an Ace King, and the rest I would flat. It's always cool to flat if on a final table because you don't want to take big risks because of ICM. And in position, I mean, it's a nice hand to play post flop as well, pocket tens and pocket nines. So and Ace Queen, Ace Jack as well, right? So I like to flat it on the final table most of the time, especially on these low stakes where tables are pretty soft. I don't want to just rip in my whole 30 big blind stack.
And then I have an endless question. In case that small blind shoves, rejumps, I made it with Hold'em resource, but you have
perfect. I was just gonna say, did you look it up in Hold'em resources?
The flat that so I gave a range to under the gun, which is this one, because I know the hand that he has, so it's a little bit wider, his hand. And here I want to ask you, I just have to put my call or also my possible 3-bets? Just my call, right? My flat, I mean.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, just that I want to know. Okay, so then he 3-bets. I gave him his range, and so we actually just call pocket tens and Ace King.
Perfect analysis. Well done. Yeah, I agree.
So the hands go on. Big blind completes. Comes the flop, and there is a c-bet. And the question is if I can call once, even multi-way. Reasons why yes, because chip leader is gonna c-bet a lot this board. We have a double backdoor, and especially we have the ace of diamonds, so we also block like ace king of diamonds and ace queen of diamonds, which is really good. But no, because he still has a lot of value hands or pocket pairs. He can apply a lot of pressure because of his chip leader, so he can second barrel. And if I lose this spot, I'm no longer second in chips. So
you forgot one important argument.
The big blind.
No. Yeah, that's also an argument. But one more argument. I mean, simply pot odds. I mean, you're getting good odds.
Yeah, sure.
I think with the ace of diamond, I would call one more time, because getting good odds means that even if you're behind against his pocket sevens or something, sometimes you have overcards against that. But with ICM, I mean, I don't think it's a terrible fold, because the big blind can also have a lot of 5x. I honestly don't really know what to do, really, but I think I would call. But with ICM...
Does it change being him a recreational player? Because he is a recreational player. So
no. I wouldn't interpret too much into this. I think with the ace of diamond, given the odds we said, we have to call one time. And it doesn't really matter that you're not second in chips anymore, because you still cover the two stacks that are to your left.
Okay.
Right? You still have them covered, or at least the small blind. So this doesn't change too much yet.
Okay. So I end up calling. Big blind folds, then comes an 8, he checks. I check, makes no sense to bet.
Yep.
I have showdown value, and river the same thing, and check, and he shows ace for offsuited.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I'll just say. Then this is also for a 6 marks, actually. So blind versus blind, min raise, we call any two here. We have top pair, bet call standard. On the turn also bet call, and he fires on the river. I analyzed a bit the hands, and I gave him, because he's also min raising, so he doesn't have all the flush draws. So I gave him around 20 combos of flush draws, and there are 60 combos of Jack 9 or like King Jack, Queen 9, but we block. And he's unknown, so I don't know if he has to be really aggressive to 3-barrel like this, and I have no idea if he's doing this. And I gave him actually almost 130 combos of value hands, and I actually just beat 10-9 or Jack 9 if he's 3-barreling like this. So I decided.
Wow, how do you end up with 128 value combos? What are these like? I'm just wondering. I don't know. I wasn't able to count that fast. I mean,
I took out the draws. I mean value hands, and Jack 9, and it's 100. It's right? Yeah, all ace.
Yeah, but some of them you beat. Put out Jack 10. You beat those.
Okay. I didn't put that. Okay, that yes. Then yes, it's less.
So put those out, and how many are left now?
96.
96.
So actually 80. Yeah,
80. And now how many bluff combos do we have to find?
As before, a quarter, like.
Yeah.
So about 20, and yeah, we have it.
Yeah. And by the way, so I just never folded if somebody bets in this spot. But go back to the flop. I like raising the flop here, I think. Let me see. Oh, no, it's a big bet. I like call then, yeah.
Okay. With less than 50%, you would have raised the flop?
Yeah. If we bet a little bit smaller. Or if we were a little bit short, say 20 left, or let's say, yeah, like 20 BB left or something, then I would raise and go broke. But this is such a tough spot. And since I saw what bullshit people sometimes do, I think I just call it off. You know, sometimes you don't have to find into the bluff combination part. You can also add Jack 10 and 10-9. So you see, and then you quickly have enough bluff combos, right? If you put Jack 10 and 10-9 in there, and then, you know, always put in some random bullshit hands in a heads-up pot. It's not like the spot that George showed where the guy really triples into 4 or 3 players. This is a heads-up pot, so I think we shouldn't give him that much credit. But in-game, I think it's a tough spot, but I just call him down since I also beat some of his value hands.
Okay. Thank you. And then I have the last hand that's it's also a final table, still of a 6 max, 330, and we are pretty deep because it's a regular tournament, it's on turbo. And buttons open. There is a 3-bet from the small blind. So Batman is a recreational player and was pretty aggressive before, but he was also chip leader. And small blind had a pretty solid game, was definitely better than the button as player. And so my question is, also because I don't know how to do it with Hold'em reserves if I can, this hand.
Yeah, no, you can't, yeah.
Because I don't know if I call and I play in position against a small blind, I 4-bet bluff, or I just fold because if button calls, we play 20 big blind spot and SPR is 3-1. And whatever. Yeah, we were really deep. I'm not used also to play 360 bigs. And I prefer to fold and keep playing a solid game, so small pots, trying to play in position.
I think I would never flat this, but I think it's a good hand to call 4-bet bluff because you have a lot of blockers and you're suited. So I think if you think that the small blind is 3-betting aggressively enough, you can 4-bet this.
It was just 6 hands we were playing, so I have no idea.
It's fine to fold with ICM, but this is generally a very good hand to 4-bet.
Okay. And if you 4-bet, how much is the amount? Because we are in position.
I would make it like 17, I guess.
Okay, like
Yeah,
almost 3
17
times.
something. Yeah,
Okay.
almost 3 times. Put enough pressure on him. We don't really want him to flat. And yeah, I think you can 4-bet this. It's a good hand.
Okay. Yeah, I end up folding. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done with the hands. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the way both of you prepared, and also your that you immediately came up with the hold'em resources analysis and everything. So if you upload this video, we call it stalling, or let's say bubble game and counting combos. I think these were the two big topics, right? Because we had different topics here. Just call it bubble game and counting combinations.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but very good coaching, guys. Yeah, and about like Ben and me, we have pretty strict rules. So if somebody doesn't appear to the coaching, basically, unless it's for a really, really good reason, he doesn't get coaching for the next week. So unfortunately, even though Majorca seemed to have informed you guys, we still have to suspend him for 2 weeks or something. Yeah, because I mean, it's obvious. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, the coaching was really, really good from both of you. I liked it.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
See you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Ciao.